Yes, we are live. Kritika, you can start.
Yes, sir. Every day is another chance to get stronger, to get better, to live healthier, and to be the best version of you. Therefore, healthy life is must in everybody's life. Namaskar. Evening is the time for peace where there is no tension to seize. Wishing you a very healthful, happy evening. Myself, Kritika Bansali, as the MOC for this special occasion, for the special occasion of Teachers' Day week, day 5th, that is 5th of September. So, Jodhpur branch of Sikasa of ICAI welcomes you all to the webinar organized on the topic the importance of nutrition, exercise and sleep for a healthy lifestyle and better stress handling. A healthy lifestyle is one which helps you to keep and improve people's health and well-being. Many government and non-governmental organizations work at promoting healthy lifestyles. Being healthy include healthy eating, physical activities, weight management, and stress management. Good health allows people to do many things. So, taking not much of time, we have here with us a group of fitness team which is being led by Arjun Jain sir, and along with him we have Dr. Neetu Malik ma'am and Sarthak Kapoor sir as the guest of this happy evening. Before we go further, I would like to request our Sikasa chairman, CA Dhaval Kothari sir, who will deliberate us with his knowledgeable and incredible words on this gracious day of Teachers' Day week. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Kritika. Good evening, everyone. I, C.A. Dhaval Kothari, on behalf of Jodhpur branch of Vikas of ICI, welcome you on today's webinar. I extend a very warm welcome and greetings to speaker of today's webinar, Sri Arjun Jain, Dr. Neetu Malik, and Sri Sarthak Kapoor. I also welcome managing committee members, all the participants, future chartered accountants, and viewers. Nowadays, health is wealth. Now it became necessity for a student to balance hard work and study as well as his or her health. Today's webinar will definitely give us the way how we can balance health and study. I hope you all will enjoy and learn a lot. By these words, over to you, Kritika.
Thank you so much, sir, for your valuable words. I would like to say some words. Health is a thing that makes you feel that now is the best time. Now I request Divya Bhatia to introduce our guest of the day, Arjun Jain sir. Over to you, Divya.
Thank you, Kritika. Good evening, everyone. Today I, Divya Bhatia, is here to introduce the guest of the day, Mr. Arjun Jain, to our seminar. So, beginning with this, he has a career objective, which is he wants to pursue a career in the fitness industry and would like to carve out a future in this field. He is very much interested in the field of sports and training. Now, beginning with his academic qualification, which is he is a AISSE passer and a graduate in Bachelor's Business Administration. He is also a CSM certified personal trainer. He is also a postgraduate in Master of Science Applied Sports and Exercise Physiology. Now, coming down to his accomplishments, he is a national level gold medalist
Divya, you are being muted.
National level both roller skating championships. He has also done articleship in Fat Loss Transformation Journey published in the Times of India. He's also done articleship about fitness journey published. His achievements have been published in magazine in July-August 2019 edition. So coming down to his other qualification, he's also trained in exercise testing protocols and procedures. He's trained in form and technique. He's also trained in strength and endurance training. He's trained in BLS CPR by American Heart Association. Now, at last, he's very keen in this sports field and also believes this internship will provide him the opportunity to work in this particular area and build expertise. Thank you. Over to you, Kritika.
Thank you so much, Divya. Now I request Antima Gaur to introduce our next guest of the day, Dr. Neetu Malik ma'am.
Thank you, Kritika. Good evening, everyone. I, Antama Gaur, here to introduce Dr. Neetu Malik, a PhD researcher working on a cross-cultural study on socio-cultural influence of media on body image in India and UK. Previously worked on neuropsychology research on attention, memory, and curiosity with Bangalore University during masters in clinical and health psychology. Thank you. Over to you, Kritika.
Thank you so much, Antima. Now I request Muskan Agarwal to introduce our next guest of the day, Sarthak Kapoor sir. Over to you, Muskan.
Thank you, Kritika. A very good evening and happy Teachers' Day to everyone. Today, I am here to introduce guest of the day, Sarthak Kapoor sir. He is pursuing sport and exercise science from Cardiff Metropolitan University. 2 years of professional coaching experience with 6 months of experience in training national and international athletes in UK. He also made infographic for the university concerned with issue in sport and exercise science. He has also done a few papers on sport and biomechanics. He is currently working with on his third year dissertation on athlete's heart. Over to you, Kritika.
Thank you so much, Muskan. Sir and ma'am, we feel privileged to have you here with us on this beautiful evening. And what better person could we have when we talk about healthy lifestyle and stress handling? We look forward to your inspirational words. Over to you, sir and ma'am.
Thank you so much for the lovely introduction. So, firstly, I'd like to start with we'll be covering, since all of us know, we'll be covering diet, exercise, and sleep. So, I'll be covering the major nutrition part. After that, Sarthak will be covering the exercise part, and sleep and stress would be covered by Neetu. First of all, I'd like to address this session with a question. So, what do we mean by a healthy diet? Or, like, what, according to you, is a healthy diet? Would anyone like to answer that? All right. So one thing that I wanna okay, so I got a response that is food on time. That is partially correct. So I'd like to address this thing. So they, in order to achieve a healthy lifestyle or a healthy, healthy body, health, total overall health, there are three basic legs of a stool. So your health, your overall health is like a tripod with three stools or three legs. So one is your diet, one is your exercise, and one is your sleep. Now if any leg falls short, the stool will fall. That is, your overall health will suffer. Now one of the things that I'd like to address is that diet is very much overrated in today's world. Like, if you see, everyone is concerned regarding diet. Everyone, whether your goal is a fat loss or to gain weight, or even to just sustain a healthy lifestyle, everyone is focusing majorly on the diet part, which is correct. Diet consists of 70 to 80% of your overall health, and it contributes towards the same. But apart from the 80%, that 20 to 25% gap is filled with exercise, physical activity, and both of these are balanced with a well balanced and healthy sleep. Now, in today's world, what I see is a majority of people on social media, or even on general marketing platforms, they're selling shortcuts. So they're selling short term diets. So these are the diets that will give you results in a short term. They'll show you the results in a short term, but basically these are the diet that an individual cannot sustain throughout their whole lives. So they cannot, I'll say it is ineffective in the long term, because if we're talking about diet, if we're talking about nutrition, you'd like a diet which you can sustain your whole life, so you can maintain it, it's easy to follow. But if someone is giving you a diet that's very difficult to follow, and even if you're able to follow it, in the long term it starts causing damages to your internal organs and everything, and naturally that's not a very healthy diet. In the long term it'll cause different problems regarding your internal organs and everything. Like, if I have to give an example, simple example would be, I have heard this many times, that if you wake up and just after waking up you have a lemon water, water, lemon and honey mixed with water, and you drink it immediately after waking up, that will create fat loss, or that will result in weight loss. Now, this is one of the major myths that I've heard of a lot, like a lot, in a day to day life, because basically there's no scientific evidence providing or backing up the same, that if you mix honey and water and lemon and you drink it immediately after waking up, that'll create fat loss. So this thing regarding the diet and the nutrition contributing a major part is correct. It's contributing to 80% of your overall health. But if I ask you how much of overall health would you like, we'll want 100% result. Now, if you'd like 100% result and you're putting in only 80 or 70% of the effort, naturally you won't get the result that you want. You'd like to fill up that gap with physical activity or exercise. And in today's world, what I notice a lot is, in today's world the term healthy and diet, they don't go hand in hand, because there are so many options in today's world. You have food just at the click of a button. So earlier, when you wanted to go out, when you wanted to have something good, either you cooked it at your home, or you had to step out of your house to get it or eat it there. Right now, with different applications, you have food just at the tip of your button. So you can just click on a button, you can just order food home, and food will come to you in within like 30 minutes, 40 minutes time. Also, like, I did a research, I made a complete thesis on cravings and diet. So there I learned that we already live in a calorie dense world. So what we mean by that is that in like earlier, when we see our ancestors, they had to roam around places, they had to search for food, they had to procure food. But in today's world, food is available already in a very abundant quantity. Now, what happens when this abundant quantity of food is consumed more than it's needed? Naturally, it will cause health problems like obesity and different types of health problems. Now, when we are already living in a world which is very rich in calorie dense food, especially processed food, and something like this pandemic happens, what happens? That calorie dense environment suddenly shoots up. Because, for example, let's say if you went to your, if follow carry out on your daily routine, like you woke up, had your breakfast, then you went to office, you worked there, you came back, you had your dinner again, you had your meals on time, that's okay. But what if, like, all of a sudden when the lockdown was announced, majority of people, not majority, all of us were confined to our own homes, to our own houses. Now, what happens in that? Since there's a lockdown and there's a time limit where you can get out and buy stuff, a lot of people started stress buying, so they buyed out of stress. And a majority of this food were processed food. So these were not food that you can cook, these were food ready to eat. Now, these are the foods that are really, really dangerous for your overall health, because these are the food that carry high amounts of carbohydrates, sugars, and fats. Now, how does this affect your immune system? Naturally, if you see, our immune system and our overall gut health consists of various microorganisms that helps us fight different diseases. Now, there are different types of microorganisms. You must have also heard the term good bacteria and bad bacteria. Now, if you eat these processed food, what happens is they cause inflammation in your body, and they curb the effect of this good microbes. Now what will happen when suddenly, something like a pandemic happens, and there's a disease that's spreading a lot, and you're consuming foods that's curbing your immune system response to defend your body against such disease. What will happen? That will naturally not help your immune system in any way. In fact, it'll make you more prone to catch that disease. So first thing is, you should avoid processed food a lot. Second thing that I learned in my research is that we as humans respond a lot to food cue stimulus. Now, what do we mean by that? Suppose, for example, you're thinking of consuming a chocolate. The chances of you going out, procuring that chocolate, and consuming it is far less than if I place a chocolate right in front of you, and you're thinking at the same time regarding consuming a chocolate. There's a 90% chance when you see that chocolate, just by seeing that chance, will activate the areas of your brain that will be more than you will actually taste it. That is when you'll actually, chocolate. So these are the foods that, like chocolate, sweet foods, these are the foods that trigger a pleasure seeking response in the brain, like a dopamine rush and something like that. So when these type of hormonal changes happen, what happens is, since we're already in a situation of pandemic, a lot of us are stressed, there's a lot of anxiety in the environment already. Now with so much of different hormone responses happening within our body, when we have foods that gives us a pleasure seeking response or a rewarding response, because these are the foods that makes us feel good. So the what happens, chances of you consuming that particular food is far high. You'll consume that food out of maybe stress, maybe you're stressed, and you can even notice this in our normal behavior life. Suppose your exams are coming up, and you're studying late night, you're stressed. Chances are you'll start eating something while studying. Why is that? Because your brain is already stressed. The stress hormone is already shooted up in your body. To curb that response, your brain would seek a pleasure seeking response. Now what will happen? Naturally there will be a cue, like a smell of a food or a sight. If you see, like if I go in my refrigerator and there's a chocolate there placed and I see it, chances of me eating that chocolate is more when I actually see it there in the refrigerator, not when I'm just thinking that I want to, add you can I want to consume chocolate. So this is one of the major drawbacks, because food is already available in abundant quantity. All we need is to make the right choice. I agree. The ready-to-eat food, processed food, they are far, they're better to make. They're prepared very in a very short time, and your all your cravings and hunger can be met with like within a very short time. But it's all at the end of the day, it all comes up down to better lifestyle choices. So these processed food, instead of these processed food, I'll recommend go for something like whole grain foods or dairy products. Daily the products that we consume in our day-to-day life. I know we're confined to our homes, we're consuming a lot. We have all around us is food, because we're considering, when will be the next time. So we have limits, like we'll go out this week, then we'll directly go out next week. What will happen? We'll buy more than what we actually need. Now what will that result into? When we have more than we actually need, we'll start consuming more than our actually body needs. So our the needs of our body are very less compared to what we are consuming. That will instead cause something like obesity. Like if you see a lot of people who, like a majority of us who went into lockdown, many of us gained a lot of weight during this period. That is not because we suddenly we stopped moving around and we gained weight. That is because the lockdown, all of that anxiety, all of that circumstance, and all of that stress buying or eating out of emotion or eating out of stress, that affects your overall appetite, that affects your overall sleep, that again affects your overall physical activity. So what happened? You consumed more, your hormonal response changed considering the situation outside, you're confined to your home, you're stressed regarding the situation, you're consuming more to curb that response. So that'll cause a poor immune function overall. Now how to boost up the immune function once the things are starting to open up with the virus still around us is by consuming more healthy food, by making better lifestyle choices, by moving around a little, even within our homes, by doing a regular exercise. It can last for 5 to 10 minutes, it can last to 30 minutes, it can last to an hour. It all depends on your schedule, but I'll recommend at least try to find 5 to 10 minutes of your day for yourself to exercise on a daily basis. Along with that, avoid buying processed food in bulk. So that is like foods like Maggi or ready to eat noodles or soups or anything like that. Instead of that, buy something like whole grain, like fresh vegetables and fruits, something like that. So all you have to do is you have to make a better choice of foods. Now along with these, there are certain foods that will further help in promoting your overall immune function response. Now, which are the mainly nutrients that will make basically result in a better immune function response? These are some of them are iron, zinc, vitamin A, E, B6, and B12. So if I'll say, now if I'll have to tell you the sources of these foods, so one thing you'll notice is all of these foods are basically the foods that we eat in our day-to-day life, and not the processed food that we're eating right now in a lockdown or even in stressful times. So majority of these vitamins and minerals would be present in your daily green leafy vegetables, your fruits, your dairy products, your, so if some of you are non-vegetarians and something like that, then eggs, poultry. Like majority of us are vegetarians, so we can procure these nutrients in the form of eating a lot of green leafy vegetables, eating a lot of fruits, eating a lot of whole grain products like wheat, brown rice, something like that. So it's all about, at the end of the day, you have to make a better lifestyle choice. So regarding nutrition, what you have to do is, first thing, you have to avoid buying processed food, because even if you have processed food and you choose not to eat it, the chances will be still be there that you'll eat it. It's because, not because you don't want, you want to, it's because how your brain has suddenly reprogrammed, considering the situation outside. So our brains are very smart, they reprogram. So the moment you will see processed food in front of you, you'll naturally, it'll create a digestion response, like you'll have increased salivation or something like that in your body, that will further increase that craving to consume that food. So first thing, avoid buying processed food at all. Opt for better food choices like green leafy vegetables, which are high in dietary fiber, vitamins, and minerals. You can even buy whole grain foods. Along with that, always keep in mind that you are hydrated at all times. So water is something that is often neglected as a nutrient, but it is very and extremely useful for us to consume and to drink a lot of water and to stay hydrated a lot of time. So that is all from my side regarding nutrition. I'd like Sarthak to take over regarding to guide you all regarding exercise and physical activity. Over to you, Sarthak.
Hello.
Hi.
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
Hi. Good evening. Okay, so now it's on me. So, आज what is everyone comfortable with? Hindi, English, or both?
Both.
Both?
Both, sir. Both, sir.
Okay. Okay. Please don't call me sir. I'm way younger than you. कोई आपको सर बुलाने की जरूरत नहीं है. चलिए. Okay. Let's get started with it. So first of all, to discuss exercise in 30 minutes, it's quite hard. And to exercise anything in 30 minutes, क्योंकि इतना ही होता समझना exercise, fitness या sports को, तो I wouldn't be doing a graduation course in it. and Arjun Bhai wouldn't be doing a master's in it. Okay, probably actually it's his second master's that he's going for. तो फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल मैं आप सबसे एक क्वेश्चन पूछना चाहता हूँ, ठीक है, एंड आई नीड एन ऑनेस्ट आंसर. You all have been to the gym at some point in your lives, okay? So I want you guys to tell me what, according to you, causes fat loss. A simple, a one-word answer, a sentence, anything. Come on, 2 minutes. Let's go. 2 minutes. Anything you come up with. Good, nice, determination. Okay. Mohibur, आपका मैं नाम सही से बोल रहा हूँ? I think I'm saying it correctly.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. चलिए, आपने कहा determination. चलिए, बहुत अच्छी बात. And determination is obviously important. आप कोई भी काम करेंगे, if you want to do anything, it's really important for you to be determined. Dedication, determination, dedication. Okay, good. We can say persistence, consistency. Okay, but if I talk about your physiology, आपकी body में क्या चलता है? जब आप बोलते हैं मुझे फैट लॉस करना है, मुझे मसल गेन करना है, तो आपकी बॉडी में किस वजह से आप फैट लूज करते हैं, या बॉडी में आप किस वजह से यू गेन मसल? Okay, that's the important thing. And a simple answer to that is, to lose weight, you need a deficit. Okay, can you all hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So it's very important to understand what is a deficit. Simple ways: if you eat less calories than your expenditure, then you will lose fat. Okay. If you eat more calories than your regular expenditure, then you will gain muscle or gain weight, whatever you want to call it. Okay. This is a simple concept. Okay, whatever diet you do, whatever exercise you do, whatever what we can say interventions you use to lose fat, this is the most important thing. आप सबने आपने देखा एक कार चलती है तो we put in fuel in it, हम फ्यूल डालते हैं, उसकी वजह से वो चलती है, ठीक है ना? It's pretty understandable कि आप उसमें जितना फ्यूल डालेंगे, ठीक है, उसका कंजम्पशन उतना बढ़ जाएगा, ये बात तो है ना? तो आपको ये समझना जरूरी है कि अगर आपको फैट लॉस करना है या आपको मसल गेन करना है, कुछ भी आप कह लीजिए, कोई भी आपका गोल है, ओके, देयर इज गोइंग टू बी सम अंडरलाइंग फिजियोलॉजिकल मैकेनिज्म दैट्स वर्किंग, जिसकी वजह से यू विल लूज फैट और यू विल गेन मसल, ठीक है? आपकी एक लिमिट होगी जिसको हम रेस्टिंग मेटाबॉलिक रेट भी बोलते हैं, बेसल मेटाबॉलिक रेट भी बोलते हैं, उसके बारे में हम अभी डिस्कस नहीं करेंगे, लेकिन उस लिमिट से अगर आप कम खाते हैं, है ना, तो उसका क्या मतलब होगा? यू विल लूज वेट. उस लिमिट से अगर आप ऊपर खाते हैं तो उसका ये मतलब होगा कि यू विल गेन वेट. सिंपल, अंडरस्टैंडेबल?
Yes.
गुड, ओके. तो आप ये सोच के देखिए कि अभी जब मैंने आपसे पूछा फैट लॉस का, ठीक है, तो लोगों को फैट लॉस का अंडरलाइंग प्रिंसिपल जो है वो समझ नहीं आता, ठीक है? वो फैट लॉस की बात नहीं, किसी भी चीज की बात करें, या मसल गेन की बात करें, आप किसी भी चीज की बात करें, वो क्यों समझ नहीं आता? बिकॉज वी हैव लॉस्ट द एबिलिटी टू थिंक इंडिपेंडेंटली, ठीक है? हम खुद नहीं सोचते कि हमें क्या करना है. अगर हमें कोई बोलता है कि हम जिम जाके एक्सरसाइज करेंगे और हम वेट लूज करेंगे, तो हम कर लेते हैं. हम कोई बोलता है कि आप ये चीज खाओगे, आप वेट लूज करोगे, तो हम कर लेते हैं. अगर कोई आपको बोलेगा कि सुबह उठ के आप, जैसे अभी अर्जुन भैया ने बोला, आप नींबू डालेंगे या हनी डालेंगे और पियेंगे तो फिर आप सक्सेसफुली यू विल लूज वेट, तो हम वो भी कर लेते हैं, है ना? वी आर नॉट एबल टू अंडरस्टैंड. हम कभी क्वेश्चन नहीं करते व्हाई डज दैट हैपन, है ना? इट्स वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. आप पूछते तो है ही नहीं. आप में से कितने लोगों ने, आप सब लोग कभी ना कभी जिम गए हैं अपनी लाइफ में? Has any one of you ever been to a gym? Any one of you? अच्छा, चलिए, आप जैसे अभी ओके, आप गए हैं, ठीक है. आप जैसे कृतिका जो बंसाली जी हैं, उन्होंने बोला भैया मैं, तो आपने कभी स्कूल के अंदर फिजिकल एक्टिविटी हुई होगी, किसी ने आपको ग्राउंड के चक्कर कटवाए होंगे, कभी किसी फिजिकल एजुकेशन टीचर ने आपको फुटबॉल खेलने को बोला होगा, क्रिकेट खिलवाया होगा, कुछ तो आपने खेला ही. फिजिकल एक्टिविटी तो हम सब ने की है, ऐसी बात तो नहीं है ना? तो अगेन गुड, दैट्स व्हाट आई एम सेइंग। हम फिजिकल एक्टिविटी, अब ग्राउंड के 10 चक्कर काट लीजिए, आपका फैट लॉस हो जाएगा। तो आप कभी अपने आप से नहीं पूछते ना कि क्यों होगा, है ना? दैट्स द इम्पोर्टेंट क्वेश्चन। हमें ये पता होना चाहिए कि उसका अंडरलाइंग रीजन क्या है। अगर हमें वो नहीं पता तो इट्स वेरी ऑब्वियस कि हम जो चीज अचीव करने जा रहे हैं, अगर जो हमको जिसने कुछ बताया है और सही, सरप्राइजिंग सही हो गया, तो हम लोग शायद फैट लूज कर लेंगे। हमको नहीं पता क्या होता है ना? समझ रहे हैं आप लोग? ठीक है, इट्स वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट टू अंडरस्टैंड कि आप अगर पूछेंगे नहीं क्वेश्चन, अगर जैसे मैं आपको, आपने उसके बारे में सुना है ये फैट सप्लीमेंट्स जिससे फैट बर्न होता है, या आपने मील रिप्लेसमेंट शेक्स, है ना? कुछ भी आपने इन
यस
सब के
Yes,
बारे
sir.
में सुना?
ये सुना है सर।
Yes.
यस डेफिनेटली। इससे ये अच्छा, अब मैं आपसे पूछूं, आपने सुना तो है, अब आपको पता है ये चीज क्या है? Why do you
No, sir.
why do you burn
नो
fat when you consume them? We
नो
obviously don't know, है ना? मेरे को भी नहीं पता था अभी 2 साल पहले तक, ठीक है, सच्ची बात है तो ये है। बट मुझे कैसे पता लगा? बिकॉज मेरे को, मैं एक बार मैंने लिया उसको पर्सनली और मेरे को मन किया कंज्यूम करने के लिए, है ना? बट आई डिडंट नो व्हाट इट वाज। तो आई वेंट ऑन इंटरनेट, आई डिड सम रिसर्च, आई रेड अ फ्यू जर्नल आर्टिकल्स। व्हाट डिड आई फाइंड, व्हाट डिड आई फाउंड कि it's not possible for you to burn fat by consuming anything, है ना? आपका यही बोलने का मतलब हो गया ना कि अगर आप गाड़ी में पेट्रोल थोड़ा सा डालेंगे, है ना, तो उसमें पेट्रोल की क्वांटिटी कम हो जाएगी। हो सकता है क्या? इज इट पॉसिबल? एक कप के अंदर आप एक एक बाल्टी के अंदर आप 1 कप पानी डाल रहे हैं, है ना? तो उसके अंदर वो 1 कप पानी बढ़ गया। अगर आपने बोला कि मैं इतना 1 ड्रॉप पानी डालूंगा, तो उसका ये मतलब थोड़ी ना कि वो कम होगा। पानी कभी कम हो सकता है क्या जब आप डाल रहे हो उसमें? तो इट्स प्रीटी ऑब्वियस इट वोंट, है ना? दैट्स व्हाई वी नीड टू अंडरस्टैंड कि कुछ भी खाने की वजह से यू कांट लूज फैट। ओके, दिस इज जस्ट वन ऑफ द फिटनेस पॉलिसीज दैट वी कम अक्रॉस, है ना? जो झूठ हमको उल्लू बनाते हैं आसपास लोग, ये पी लीजिए तो आपका वजन कम हो जाएगा, ये खा लीजिए तो आपका वजन बढ़ जाएगा। ठीक है, आपको क्वेश्चन करना आना चाहिए अपने आप को, और जो सामने आपको बोल रहा है कि आपको इसको खाने से फैट लूज होगा, कि क्यों होगा, है ना? दैट्स इंपॉर्टेंट। ठीक है, अभी हमारे पास ज्यादा टाइम नहीं है तो आई विल मूव ऑन टू द थर्ड थिंग। ठीक है, एक्सरसाइज एंड फिजिकल एक्टिविटी। ठीक है, आप जिम जाते हैं, आप ट्रैकिंग करते हैं, आप रनिंग करते हैं, स्किपिंग करते हैं, वट एवर यू डू, ओके, व्हेन यू डू दीज थिंग्स, ओके, दीज आर नथिंग बट सिंपल इंटरवेंशंस। इंटरवेंशन का क्या मतलब होता है? ठीक है, इट इज अ थिंग दैट विल हेल्प यू, दैट विल मेक द प्रोसेस फास्टर, इट विल क्विकन अप द प्रोसेस ऑफ लूजिंग फैट। यू अंडरस्टैंड दैट? आप वेट लूज कर रहे हैं, आप ऑलरेडी कम खा रहे हैं, ठीक है? अगर आप अपने मेंटेनेंस से कम खाएंगे तो आप वेट लूज करेंगे। समझ आ गई बात? सिंपल सी बात। अब आप एक्सरसाइज करेंगे तो यू विल बर्न मोर कैलोरीज। अगर आप लिफ्ट नहीं लेंगे, सीढ़ी चढ़ेंगे, तो यू विल बर्न मोर कैलोरीज। अगर आप जॉगिंग जाएंगे सुबह तो यू विल बर्न मोर कैलोरीज। ठीक है, तो दिमाग में ये बात हटा दीजिए कि अगर आप एक्सरसाइज करेंगे सिर्फ, और आपने खाना वाना अपना सब, बीच बीच में आप भुजिया भी खा रहे हैं, सब कर रहे हैं, इफ यू आर नॉट फोकसिंग प्रॉपर्ली ऑन योर डाइट, ठीक है, and at the same time you are considering exercise and physical activity as the only thing that will help you lose fat, then you won't lose fat. Simple. ठीक है, it's very simple. You won't lose fat अगर आपका बैलेंस नहीं है। अगर आप अपनी मेंटेनेंस से बहुत ऊपर खा रहे हैं, यू आर कंज्यूमिंग लॉट ऑफ कैलोरीज, और आप एक्सरसाइज कर रहे हैं, मैं घर पे सुबह वर्कआउट करता हूँ, आई वॉच कल्ट फिटनेस, आई डू व्हाट यू कॉल इट, एरोबिक्स और वट एवर इट इज, ठीक है, आई डू एवरीथिंग, बट आई एम नॉट लूजिंग फैट। क्यों? क्योंकि आप मेंटेनेंस से ज्यादा खा रहे हैं, है ना? तो आपको फिजिकल एक्टिविटी को सिर्फ ऐसे नहीं देखना कि फिजिकल एक्टिविटी इज द ओनली थिंग दैट विल हेल्प यू बर्न फैट, because it won't, first of all. Okay, moving on, I want to talk about two important aspects. ठीक है, first is moderation and excess. ठीक है, moderation का सिंपल मतलब ये होता है किसी चीज की लिमिट। ठीक है, एक किसी चीज की लिमिट, हमने मॉडरेशन में कुछ कंज्यूम किया। एक चीज की एक्सेस कब होती है? जब हम उसको ज्यादा खाते हैं। सिंपल सी बात है ना, इफ वी ईट लेस we are eating in moderation basically, or if we are consuming it in a certain amount, it's moderation. If you're eating more than we need or more than what is required, then it is excess. Simple. तो आपको ये चीज समझनी जरूरी है कि अगर आप एक अगर मैं आपसे बोलूं कि you have to run 10 rounds of the football field, okay, just because you have to, it will help you burn fat. ठीक है. Now if you are a beginner, आप पहली बार मेरे पास आए and you want to lose fat, what will that do for you? Is there any context? नहीं. तो मुझे क्या करवाना चाहिए? If you want to lose weight, ठीक है, what shall be my main focus? I have to make sure that you are staying under your maintenance calories. तो वो तो कैलोरी की बात हो गई. एक्सरसाइज उसके बाद में जो भी मैं किसी को क्यों 10 राउंड भगाऊं? It won't make any sense. Okay, so that we have to understand the main difference कि अगर आप मॉडरेशन में कुछ चीज कर रहे हैं तो वो चीज सही होगी. अगर आप उसी चीज को उसकी अति कर देंगे, हम बोलते हैं ना कि I'm addicted to it or I'm doing it in excess, then you're going wrong. ठीक है. और ये हर किसी के साथ है. When you eat something, when you do an exercise, अगर आप रेगुलर जिम जा रहे हैं बहुत अच्छी बात है. हफ्ते में I would suggest 4 to 5 times a week. Good. If your intensity is high, you go for 3 to 4 days a week, better. Like best. If you're training for 7 days a week, having no rest day, you are being an idiot. I'm sorry, mind my words, but it is very stupid for you to go to the gym 7 days a week or train 7 days a week. अब आप अति कर रहे हैं. So there is a difference between moderation and excess. Second thing that I want to talk about, just one of my last few points, किसी भी चीज के बारे में don't speak without context. Okay, very important. First of all, if अगर मैं आप में से कितने लोगों ने अपने घर पे सुना है कि eating too much protein is bad? कितने लोगों ने सुना है? प्लीज जल्दी से आप चैट में टाइप कर दीजिए yes या no. किसी ने सुना है तो yes, जिसने नहीं सुना है वो no कह दीजिए प्लीज. Okay, good. Okay, again, yes. ठीक है. आप लोगों ने सुना है मतलब मेरी तरह, है ना? Because in my family, people used to tell me not to eat whey protein, okay, because it damages your liver and kidney. ये उनका कहना था. Okay, चलिए. अब सच्ची बात करते हैं एक्चुअल में है क्या. अगर मैं आपको बोलूं too much protein is bad, first of all, this is a very stupid statement. Why? Because what is too much? How do you define too much? Is 5 grams too much or is 70 grams too much? Let's say I say 70 grams. 70 grams of protein is bad. Again, a very stupid statement. To whom is it bad? Is it bad for someone who wants to gain muscle and who weighs 70 kgs? It's not bad at all. He needs more protein than that. If you want to gain muscle, you have to eat 2.2 grams per kg body weight of protein, 1.6 to 2.2. Okay, these are the guidelines. That's what it says. And if I say, if you say 70 grams of protein per day for a 4-year-old is bad, then now I have context and I can say yes, it's not useful. Why would a 4-year-old be consuming 70 grams of protein every single day? He's not even in his age of adolescence. So that's important. You need to understand the context. ठीक है, आप किस चीज की बात कर रहे हैं? To gain muscle, if I ask you to run on treadmill, that's stupid. Context. किस बारे में बात कर रहे हैं? मेरे को एक्सरसाइज करनी है, I want to gain muscle. Okay, but what you want to do? What's the purpose? If you want to lose weight, let's say you want to gain endurance, you want to improve your endurance, then you should be working specifically for endurance training. आपके जिम में जाने से, डंबल उठाने से you cannot make endurance. You cannot build endurance. Not possible. Okay, it is possible at different intensities, but you have to do different exercises for that. इसलिए context बहुत important है. Finally, I'll just say one more thing and then I'll hand it over to Dr. Neetu Malik. The last thing, okay, 3 important things. ये आप note भी कर सकते हैं. These are the most important things that I have come across over the 4 years of resistance training experience I have. Okay, number 1 is knowledge. Okay, very important. Okay, you need to know what you're doing. अगर मैं जिम जा रहा हूँ, if I know that I'm going to the gym and I have no knowledge of what I'm doing, I want to gain weight, I want to gain muscle, how will I do that? So you need knowledge for that. Once you understand, oh, if I go to the gym and I do hypertrophy and I train in the gym, I lift weights, I do resistance training, I will gain muscle. You have knowledge. Okay. Now, what comes? Implementation. You have what it needs to make you grow muscle. So you will use that knowledge, you will implement that in the gym. आप जिम जाएंगे, आप weights उठाएंगे और आप अब आपको knowledge भी है और आप implement भी कर रहे हैं, बहुत अच्छी बात है. Last point that I want to finish this session with is consistency. ठीक है? It's very important for you to be consistent. If you have knowledge, if you know how to implement it, ये वैसे मुझसे ज़्यादा आप लोग जानते हैं, आप लोग CA हैं तो आप लोगों ने पढ़ाई खूब सारी की होगी, तो आप लोगों को पता है कि एक दिन पढ़ने से तो कुछ क्लियर होता नहीं है. तो you have to do it regularly, you have to do it consistently, है ना? Over a period of 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, आप करते हैं उसको and then you see results. ठीक है ना? Just like that, in the field of fitness, you have to be consistent, be it diet, be it exercise, or anything else. And now I wish to end it here. Thank you for lending me your ears. I will hand it over to Neetu Malik. Thank you so much.
Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, yeah. Hi, hello. So before I begin, I have a question for you all to think. So do you know that feeling when you tuck yourself into the bed and then you fall asleep, have a nice sleep actually, and then wake up in the morning feeling refreshed? I mean, I don't think so. I've had it in a long time. So it's all because we are so stressful in our daily lives. I mean, we have our exams, we have to focus on life, our jobs, then we have to balance our relationships in our life. So we are all occupied with stressors all the time. So today I'll talk about what the stress is, the types of stress that we face in our daily lives, how to cope up with these stress, and we'll also break some myth about stress. And lastly, but not the least, we'll discuss the relationship between stress and sleep. So let's begin. So the stress, this 6-letter dreadful word stress, it can mean different things to different people. But a layperson would define stress in terms of pressure, tensions, unpleasant external forces, or an emotional response. So stress arises when we perceive that our resources cannot meet the demands of our situations. So anything that causes stress is called a stressors. Now, on the basis of duration of time, stress can be divided into two. One is acute stress and second is chronic stress. So acute stress is the kind of stress that we face for a short span of time, say until we are in a threat situation. That's it. And after that, it is no more. But chronic stress is the kind of stress which is there with us for a longer period of time, say, even after the threat or stress is over. And on the basis of how the stress impacts us, it can again be understood in two ways. One is eustress, which is also known as the good stress. And the second one is distress, which is the bad one. Now, I know we all perceive stress as something which is really, really negative, but not all kinds of stress are negative. There are a few stress situations which are really positive for us, which helps us in performing better, which gives us a lot of motivation, which channelizes our energy in all the positive directions. So one of the example would be strength training exercises. So it not only enhances our functioning, but it helps us to perform better in all areas of life. On the other hand, we all know what distress can be like and how it impacts us. So it affects our, daily functioning. It raises our concerns. It raises our anxiety levels and our health issues as well. Now, one thing I would like to explain here is that how stress is related with our body and what are the bodily changes. So when our body encounters a perceived threat, so the tiny region which is right like behind the brain, which is known as hypothalamus, yeah, hypothalamus, it activates the flight or fight response in our body. So what is that? This response basically prepares us to either escape or confront the threatful situations. Now, when this system is activated, our body releases two types of hormones, which is adrenaline and cortisol. We all know what adrenaline does to our body, which is it increases our heart rate and escalates our blood pressure. And cortisol, being the primary stress hormone, it basically increases the levels of sugar in our bloodstream. So you see all these changes just because we are having stress, be it minor, be it major, but it's all because of stress. But the good thing is that this stress response is temporary, which means that once the threat has passed, everything returns to the baseline level and the systems resume with regular activities, which is also known as homeostasis. I'm sure you all have read about it. Now, but in situations, there are like stressors which are available with us all the time. So in those situations, you know, our body constantly feels under attack and threat all the time, which is why the flight or fight response of our body remains active most of the times. And this is the reason why we face health and mental issues like anxiety, depression, weight loss and weight gains. And then we have some heart problems, we have eating disorders. So, all this because we perceive something so much stressful in our lives. So, oh, I also have an interesting fact for you that humans are the only species that can actually imagine stressors and react to it as if they were real. So, from this fact, you can imagine how we perceive, the slightest things in our lives which can be solved without taking stress or tension, but we prefer to take a lot of stress over it and try to solve it, I don't know, with whatnot. Now, I'd like to break some myths about stress here. One is that stress is same for everyone. Now, I have known so many people who believe this fact, but we don't all experience stress the same way. It's different for everyone. You may feel stress under high pressure jobs while your coworker can actually thrive on it. So no, it is not the same for everyone. The second is that stress is always bad for you. No, it's not. A little stress is always good to keep your life balanced. What's important is how you manage it, and we'll discuss this thing in the next section. Next is you can't do anything about it because stress is everywhere. Yes, it's true. Stress is everywhere around us, but you can plan your life accordingly so that you don't feel overwhelmed by it. And last but not the least, they say that stress, anxiety, and depression, they are all the same. Let me tell you, these three things are completely different. While anxiety can be a result of constant pressure and stress, but depression is completely different. In fact, it is entirely opposite to stress. So, these concepts, if you want to discuss, maybe we can arrange another meeting and we can discuss all these things later. Now, I'd like to talk about the relationship between stress and sleep. So sleep, like I said, that sleep can impact our life in many ways. Sorry, stress can impact our lives in many ways, including negatively affecting the quality of our sleep. So it makes sense that when we lie in bed worrying and feeling anxious, which makes it almost impossible to relax and quiet our mind enough to fall asleep. So it's no wonder that we use the phrase losing sleep over something. That's also why people who suffer from chronic stress, which is the stress where an individual is there for a longer period of time, have poorer sleep quality and find it difficult to function well throughout the day. And unfortunately, this cycle will continue to get worse. So, if you don't sleep enough at night, your body boosts its level of stress hormones. Now, the brain chemicals connected with deep sleep are the same ones that tells our body to stop the production of stress hormones. And as a result, when you don't sleep well, your body keeps pumping out those hormones. And the next day, you feel more stressed. The following night, you find it harder to fall asleep, and so on. And even worse, stress hormones peak in the afternoon and in the early evening, just when you should be relaxing and preparing your body for slumber. And on the top of that, the more exhausted you feel, the less you're able to focus at work and at home, leading to even more stress. So you're also likelier to snap at your friends and family, causing more stress and causing chaos in your relationships. More downsides to all of this stress is people who have high and prolonged levels of stress have higher risk of heart disease, depression, higher blood pressure, and they have weakened immune system as well. That's why it's extremely important that if you feel overly tense, you try different stress relief methods and try to get plenty of sleep, because sleep is something that prepares your body for the next day. It also repairs, recovers your body. It gives you enough energy. So, now, lastly, I'd like to talk about certain strategies that you can use in combination to manage your stress and also induce a healthy sleeping habit. So, the first is, of course, we all know that eating healthy. So, junk food, refined sugars are low in nutritional values and high in calories. So, your body don't get enough nutrients to function. That's why it's extremely important to eat healthy. Next is maintain healthy bedtime habits. So we all have heard and learned this thing when we were kids, that early to bed, early to rise makes a person healthy, wealthy, and wise. So, yeah, we have to ditch the habit of sleeping at 2, 3, or 4 a.m. in the morning and tuck in bed early and have a proper 7 to 8 hours of sleep. And this thing is applicable for anyone. If you're a student, if you are politician, if you're doing any hard job or easy job, anything. I mean, every individual needs to have at least 7 to 8 hours of sleep in their day. Next is exercise, exercise, and exercise. It channelizes your energy in the right direction. So you need to do daily exercises, be it for 30 or 40 minutes. This will take your mind off things that are troubling and helps you clear your mind for effective thinking. Next is avoid caffeine. Now, it is well known that caffeine induces lots of anxiety and stress. So it prevents your body to come in a restful state. So you need to avoid caffeine as much as you can. Next is talk to someone. So I believe this is the best option after exercises. You need to vent it out to someone. You can talk to people in your family or friend circle who understands you, or it's up to you, if you want to talk to a professional about it. But trust me, this is the most healthy way to take it all out and feel refreshed. Last but not the least, try different hobbies. So remember, we used to make a list of hobbies when we were kids. So yeah, it's time to take out this list and actually put it to practice. So try different things like dancing, sketching, gardening, singing, anything that you believe is different for you. Well, just give it a try. It will definitely clear out the stress and tensions in your mind and give your mind some space for more things to come in. So you can try a combination of all these techniques to maintain a healthy lifestyle daily. That's all for today. I hope the session was helpful for you. Thank you very much and have a good day.
Thank you so much, sir and ma'am, for your wonderful deliberation with your speech. I think the health tips and all related information provided by you would be really helpful for all of us. Now let's take some questions which the students have asked through the Google form circulated to them, and also the students watching us right now have asked the questions in the live chat box or the YouTube comment section. If any students watching would like to put up the questions, can quickly text the same. All the questions would be answered. Now I would like to start the question bank which are as follows. Is added sugar healthy? If not, why?
So added sugar is not healthy because it has very less nutritional value, like Neetu said, and it's very high in calories. So, for example, if you see a can of Coke, and if you have to extract sugar from that can of Coke, so you will see 70% of that can of Coke will be filled by sugar. That's how much sugar a single can of Coke is. And even if you see, the recommended dose of sugar for daily intake is around 20 to 25 grams per day. That's the maximum limit one should consume sugar. But if you see around us, the foods we eat, there are a majority of foods are so much high in sugar that we often, consume more than what is needed from the body. And also one more thing, so when we consume more sugar than our body actually needs, what it can lead to is it can lead to insulin, something known as insulin resistance, which will further cause problems like diseases like diabetes, type 2 diabetes, and other various problems in our internal organs. So added sugar is good provided it's in, moderated quantity, that as much as you need but not too much of it.
Can be there any substitute of sugar? Arav Bansali.
So, there are different type of sweeteners, but I'll still recommend, instead of going for sweeteners, just go for sugar. Jaggery is a good, replacement for sugar. It has some nutritional value, as when you compare to refined sugar. I'll say go for jaggery and not refined sugar if that's possible. Otherwise, have refined sugar but in limited quantities.
Kritika?
Yes, sir. Sorry, sir. My network problem. There was network problem.
No problem.
Next question. Can more tea consumption for concentration of study be fruitful or not?
Can you repeat the question?
Can more tea consumption for concentration of study can be fruitful or not?
So the thing is, it depends because as per science, there's not too much, reaction in the brain consuming tea. It's more linked to caffeine. So caffeine makes your brain a little more alert, a little more focused. So that's why most people prefer coffee while working. But if you're consuming tea and if that's helping you concentrate better, then okay. Provided you're consuming it again in limited quantities, as much as you need, and not too much of it.
Okay, sir. Next question is best suggestion for students during this COVID time.
So best suggestion of students for this COVID time is eat healthy, eat in limited quantities. There is a difference between eating in limited quantities and eating deliberately less. So by limited quantities, I don't mean you eat lesser than what your appetite is allowing. You eat as much as you want to. It's all about better food choices. So if, for example, if you're eating rice or dal and roti, but you're still feeling hungry, you can have some salad, something, feeling maybe water, maybe coffee, maybe even salad. You can try experimenting with different recipes. It's not like, healthy food needs to be taste a certain way. There are many ways to make even the simplest of food very tasty and interesting to eat, and these foods will keep you satiated and make you keep help you keeping that feeling of fullness for a longer time. Also include a little bit of fats, because fats are foods that are a little heavy to eat. So eating a little bit of good fats in your diet and including them would help you staying satiated for a longer time, and that will further reduce the chances of you craving for any other food during that period. So that'll create a perfect balance between your meals.
Okay, sir. Next question. Are there certain ages at which a body's metabolism slows down?
So the metabolism is not only determined by age, it also depends on body type to body type. For example, if you see, there are some people who gain weight easily, very easily, even if they eat very less food. Then there are people who eat lots and lots of food, but they somehow manage to stay slim. So it's all about their body type, that how someone's metabolism is fast, someone's metabolism slow. Again, you can you know modify this metabolism of yours. So there are different methods, you can google about them. There are different types of eating habits that you can follow to boost up your metabolism or slow down your metabolism.
Sir, now some questions to Neetu ma'am.
Okay.
One second, please. Yes. Where's my Zoom? Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Ma'am, may I start?
Yes, please.
First question is how to overcome feelings of edginess, anxiety, or nervousness.
So the best thing for these is to talk with someone. So, when you are having all these stressful and anxiety situations and times, so what is important is that you need to take it out of your mind first, because the more it will be in your mind, you'll feel more suppressed with it. It will eat up your mind, it will consume your mind so much. So you need to vent it out to someone. And you can try, like I said, you can try a combination of things to keep you distracted for a while. So distraction also plays an important role sometimes in clearing your head and getting over your anxiety and stressful situations. So a change in environment, change in your activities for a while, and speaking with someone is what I believe is the best combination.
Thank you, ma'am. Ma'am, next question is
Yeah.
one student has asked, over the last 3 months, I am frequently facing problem of lack of confidence due to this pandemic. My concentration on subject is not there. How can I improve this situation?
Yeah. Okay. So pandemic is really hard on everyone. I mean, everyone is feeling super stressed, super annoyed, irritated with the times now, and it's really difficult to focus because you're fixed, you're binded with so many rules and fixed at a place. So for a while, leave it. It's okay if you're not able to concentrate. It's okay if you're feeling all these things. We all are human beings. We are bound to feel all these things. So let it be. You don't have to stress about this thing that, oh my God, I'm not able to focus on this thing. I can't focus on that thing. It's okay. It's fine. Let it be. For a while, take a break. You must have heard, take a break. So you need to take a break in your life. That's what I said. Try different things. This is the time when you have to experiment and actually discover yourself, would be the right phrase to use. So you can discover yourself with different things. So, and after a while, when you try studying again, you will focus. It's okay. It's not something to stress about.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Ma'am, third question is, I have a
Yeah.
problem of sleep due to the exam pressure, sleeping pattern affected. How to deal with it?
So the first thing is that you need to have a super healthy diet. Like Arjun said, diet is extremely important. And next thing is you need to maintain a healthy sleep cycle. Now, it takes about 21 days approximately to maintain a sleeping cycle. So it can't happen like for 2 days you eat healthy and for 2 days you want to sleep early and you will have a nice sleeping habit. No, you need to be patient about it, work on it for a longer time, and then eventually build up your own sleep cycle according to your routines and patterns. Next thing, because you're stressed about exams, and like I explained before, this stress is definitely a distress for you, it's not a eustress. Okay, so it is common. You need to actually practice sleep hygiene with yourself, which can help you to lower your stress hormones in your body. And then again, like I said, diet and try different things, and then also try studying simultaneously. It can help.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Feelings of anxiety or discomfort affect my surrounding. How to deal with it?
Well, that's a very vast question, honestly, because it
Yes.
affects your surroundings. I understand, but how, I need to know. Because, there are limits to all these things. So there are divisions, like in what aspects it affects your surroundings. Is it your relationship it affects, or is it just you, your work? I need to understand specifically what aspect it affects, and then maybe I can answer this question.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am and sir, one question is for you all. What are the ways I can get more vitamin D during the winter months?
So
I
vitamins
believe
are
Arjun can
basically
answer this question.
So vitamins are basically mostly found in green leafy vegetables and fruits. So you can make a choice of fruits based on what's available. Also, if there is something, if very less foods are available in the market, or you're finding it difficult to get foods of your choice because people have preferences while consuming food, you can even go for supplementation. So that's okay, provided you're consuming your diet, you're considering your daily intake of diet first. So you have to focus more on intaking your vitamins and minerals through your green leafy vegetables and fruits. And still after that, if you feel that you are maybe still taking less than what you need, then you can go for maybe a vitamin or mineral supplementation.
Thank you, sir.
Well,
Uh, Ma'am, more questions may I ask you?
Yeah, absolutely. Go ahead.
Ma'am, I have my parents around me who support
Mm.
me, but it puts me in status of releasing if I am not able to make them proud in any work. How I am going to face them?
That's normal pressure. Everybody feels this pressure. You don't have to constantly think about it 24/7. This thing should not be in your head constantly. I mean, you see your parents are supporting you, right? So this should actually help you build up your confidence, and this should motivate you to do more things rather than channelizing your thoughts in a negative way. You should feel happy that yes, they are supportive of me, and then you should feel like working more for them. This is nothing to stress about, honestly. So you shouldn't. Self realization is actually, see, very important. Internalization is really important because it keeps yourself, your body, your mind in check, that what milestones you're achieving and how far you are to your other milestones, right? So when you achieve that retrospection with yourself, it's okay, fine. You've judged yourself, okay, like you're feeling this constant realization and everything. But then you also need to feel positive about things. So I think it's all maybe just the negative elements that are coming in the mind, and you just need to take them out.
Yes, ma'am. Next question is, my appetite increase more during exam time. that results in less concentration. How to deal with it?
Okay. Well, your appetite increased because you're having this stress. And what was the second part that you said? Okay, the
How
concentration
to
part.
deal with it? How to deal with it?
Yeah, okay. So it's fine. It's because your brain is working out more. So eventually, a lot of energy is being consumed by your body. So
Yes, ma'am.
it's completely fine that you're having this, you want to increase your appetite, or you're having increase in your appetite or weight. It's completely fine. So you can balance it by making sure that whatever you're consuming, whatever you're eating is extremely healthy and maintain a right amount of weight. That's it.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Uh,
You're welcome.
questions, sir, Sarthak sir can answer. May I speak the question? Best exercise for student for concentration during exam.
Exercises for students to concentrate during exam. Okay, first of all, we need to understand there is a difference between exercise, mental exercises and physical exercises. So first of all, if you talk about concentration, I personally believe that I am I was very hyperactive, and I used to find it really hard to control myself, and specifically when I was studying. So concentrate करने के लिए it's very important. It was very important for me to use that energy in a different place. For me, it was exercise. I used to train. I personally love doing calisthenics. It's a type of body weight workout, and that was my way of using that as an intervention. And then that was my escape. I used to train. I used to feel, okay, I've trained, I've used my energy at the right place, and then I used to study. And this is something that I prefer doing. If you talk about concentration, I think some mental exercises will be of more help, and it will be much more relatable and understandable if Neetu Malik answers this question, because I don't really know any mental exercises that will help you uh, develop concentration. But yes, this is one of the things that I used to do, doing exercise because I was very hyperactive. Other than that, I think it's fine. Just give yourself some time, do something that you love, spend your energy some other place. And she's waving her hand, so I must give her the chance to speak now. Yes, go ahead. Yeah,
Is it me?
Yeah, you
yeah,
have to
it's you, it's
tell
you, it's you,
mental
it's you.
Oh,
exercises for focus and concentration.
okay, yeah, okay. So at the moment, I can think one which is really interesting. So one is you can go in a corner, any corner of your house, okay, and then close your eyes. Imagine a space in your own house, okay. You just have to imagine this, and imagine this with like minutest details. For example, how many lights are there, like what's the angle of certain things, how many books are there in that shelf, and if you can remember the name of the books. So no, these are just examples which you can imagine. And then when you are finally done with it and you go back to that space which you actually imagined and cross check with what all things you remembered. So these things will not only help you increase your concentration but will also help develop your learning skills and memory. So at the moment I can think of only one exercise right now. But I've tried it, so yeah, it's pretty good. It works.
Okay, thank you, ma'am and sir. One last question. Pressure of social people keep on increasing, which result in bad performance. How to avoid the social people or their negative thoughts?
Avoid the social pressure. Simple. You don't have to take pressure of people around you. You take your own pressure, that's it. You don't have to really focus on what people say, what people think, what people ask you to do. That's the best thing. Because if you'll think of people, you will think, oh my God, what will that person say? Oh my God, this person wants me to do this. You will never be able to achieve that satisfactory place in your life. So to achieve it, it's really important that you let go of that social drama and anxiety and pressure.
Yes, ma'am.
Arjun, do you want to
Yeah,
say
okay, so
something,
there's
Arjun?
one more question, I guess. Exam stress dur karne ke liye healthy food. So I guess you should prefer more of fruits and vegetables, because I'll say sweet food, makes us feel good, but I won't recommend you to eat sweet food. chocolate or anything like that, go for fruits, maybe your favorite fruit, provided you're consuming a limited quantity. And exercise, try to move around the house. Exercise need not be very much complex. They can be as simple as climbing up and down your own staircase of your house. So when you'll exercise, provided with your correct healthy diet and fruits, what will happen is that will create a release of endorphins, that is the feel good hormones in your body, which will actually help you deal with the stress of the exams more better. And exercise is the best way to channelize that extra energy of stress in and turn it into something positive.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. So now the questions are over. A massive thanks to Arjun sir, Neetu ma'am, and Sarthak sir for answering all the questions fluently. Now I would like to request Hitakshi Chandak to express vote of thanks.
The body in good health is a duty, otherwise, we will not be able to keep our mind strong and clear. Our special invitee, Arjun Jain sir, Sarthak Kapoor sir, and Neetu Malik ma'am, and all the participants. It's my privilege of being asked to propose a vote of thanks on this gracious occasion of Teachers Day week. On behalf of the Sikasa Jodhpur and the volunteers, thanks to the honorable delegates who blessed us with their presence and took out valuable time of their busy schedule. I would like to extend a special thanks to C.A. Dhaval Kothari sir, who is Sikasa chairman, for inspiring us and giving us opportunity in this event. I must also mention our deep sense of appreciation to Rahman sir and Akshay sir for their support and dedication to the Sikasa Jodhpur branch. In addition, I would like to thank our MOC Kritika Bansali. I am heartily thankful to all participation in this event. As no program can become successful with a single person, so I extend big thanks to the Sikasa Jodhpur.
Sir, I think some network issue is there.
Yes, Kritika. Kritika, you conclude from your side.
Yes, sir. Thank you everyone for joining this happy evening. I'm sure you all enjoyed it out there, this wonderful webinar on health, healthy lifestyle and stress handling. I hope all of you had a great time listening patiently this webinar. Thank you Mohibur Rahman sir and Akshay Nair sir and Sikasa Jodhpur branch for giving me this remarkable opportunity to be the MOC of for the webinar of this Teachers Day week, Sham. I would like to sum up with few lines. Exercise to be fit, not to be skinny. Eat to nourish your body, and always ignore the haters, doubters, and unhealthy examples that were once feeding you. You are worth more than you realize. So, thank you all once again and have a sweet dreams. Shubhratri, Jai Hind. Thank you all.